The Seven Wonders of the Ancient World is a list of humanity's greatest architectural achievements from the ancient times. These varied constructions were made by many different nations, including the Greeks, Egyptians, and Persians. First dating back to 225 BCE, the list called the Wonders of the Ancient World was compiled by the Greeks on their many conquests of various nations and their cultures. And in this video, we will be exploring them ourselves. However, out of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, only one remains standing after all this time. So let's start there. Number 1. The Great Pyramid of Giza. As the oldest of the ancient wonders, you would think the Great Pyramid of Giza would be the first to crumble, but actually it is the only wonder of the ancient world still standing after all the time that had passed. Built in around 2560 BCE in the Giza necropolis, Cairo, Egypt, the Great Pyramid of Giza is thought to have taken around 20 years to build. The Great Pyramid of Giza is one of 3 pyramids in the Giza Pyramid complex. The pyramids were built as tombs for the pharaohs, the rulers of Egypt. This particular tomb was built for Pharaoh Khufu and was surrounded by 4 other smaller buildings for his wives. They were known as the Queen's Pyramids. However, as time passed, one of the Queen's Pyramids were destroyed, so today only 3 remain relatively intact. Despite having many ideas on how the Great Pyramid of Giza was built using technology at the time, it is still a mystery as to how the ancient Egyptians built this amazing structure that is 139 meters tall, using on average 2.5 ton stone blocks and without any known advanced machinery. This great feat also did not escape the Greeks' admiration, as it was soon added to their list of wonders of the world. However, this great monument hadn't escaped unscathed, as it was broken into and raided many times, with various valuable artifacts possibly being stolen and lost forever. Number 2. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Thought to have been built around 600 BCE, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon has never been proven to exist. With little evidence, people throughout time have debated whether it really existed or was just a part of someone's fabrication. However, I will leave that one for you to decide. But it was stated to have been built by the Babylonians or the Assyrians by making a man-made hill with different layers and tiers. Said to have housed a wide variety of different plants and water features, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon's name comes from the Greek word for overhanging, referencing the supposed flowers and plants spread throughout the tiered gardens and terraces. With a definite location never found, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon is thought to be in modern-day Iraq. But this lack of location only helps further prove to some people that the gardens didn't exist and was only part of someone's vivid imagination. It was thought to have been destroyed after the 1st century CE, but the Hanging Gardens of Babylon's cause of destruction remains unknown, with little information about whether it was destroyed by humanity or nature. What do you think? Number 3. The Temple of Artemis. The Temple of Artemis was a Greek structure dedicated to an ancient form of the goddess Artemis, the goddess of the moon, the hunt, and the wilderness. The temple had a violent history and was rebuilt 3 times after various natural and unnatural disasters. After being first built in 550 BCE, the Temple of Artemis was destroyed by a deliberate fire on the 21st of July 356 BCE, 194 years after it had been built. After being built again in 355 BCE, it was destroyed and pillaged in 267 CE by the Goths. It was built again, but in 401 CE, the Temple of Artemis was then destroyed by a Christian mob for the final time. The temple was seen as extremely sacred to the followers of Artemis, and was seen as the only important shrine to the goddess, even undermining the importance of other temples throughout their world. This great following led to many massive festivals in the name of Artemis and the things she represented. However, the temple was apparently not to last. After 6 years of searching for the ruins of the temple, John Turtle Wood, a British explorer, rediscovered the remains of the temple in 1869 and continued the excavations until around 1874. Now in modern-day Turkey, all that remains to mark the Temple of Artemis is a single column constructed from different fragments of the once great structure. Number 4. The Statue of Zeus. The statue of Zeus was a giant seated figure about 13 meters tall and built around 435 BCE in the Temple of Zeus in Olympia, Greece. It was made using gold, ivory and precious stones. The statue was built for the Olympic Games, which was an athletic competition in honor of the king of the gods, Zeus. No one knows how the statue was destroyed, but there has been various thoughts on the matter. These include: it was moved to another city, Constantinople, now known as Istanbul, and then was destroyed in a great fire in 475 CE. Another theory states that it was destroyed in a fire within the original temple in Olympia in 425 CE. However, there is little evidence of either of these cases, so we will probably never know what happened to the great monument to a god, the wonder called the Statue of Zeus. What do you think happened? Number 5. The Tomb of Mausolus. The Tomb of Mausolus was a tomb built between 351 BCE in modern-day Turkey for a ruler of the Persian Empire, a man called Mausolus, and his wife. Built by the Greeks, this raised tomb rose approximately 45 meters up into the air. This rectangular structure was surrounded by 36 columns and 20 lion statues. Most of the tomb was made of marble, and it was surrounded by a courtyard. However, this was not what protected the building. Despite the many changing of hands, the tomb remained untouched by the many different groups of people who took over the city it was housed in. However, it was only raided after it was rubble in around 1522 CE. It was suggested that this great monument had been destroyed by constant earthquakes from sometime in the 12th century to the 13th century. This is just an estimate, as no records have been found stating how and when the tomb was ruined. It is said that many of the stones from the ruins were used by an order of Catholic knights to fortify their castle and decorate it with the different articles from the decimated tomb of Mausolus, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Number 6. The Colossus of Rhodes. The Colossus of Rhodes was built in 292 to 280 BCE by the Greeks. This statue was built to honour the Greek titan Helios, the titan of the sun. It was erected in the city of Rhodes on the island of Rhodes, Greece. Standing at 33 metres, it was the tallest statue of the ancient world, now the approximate height of the Statue of Liberty from foot to crown in the USA. As well as Helios, the island's patron god, the statue was also in celebration of the aborted siege of 305 BCE by Cyprus. The Colossus of Rhodes was paid for by the selling of weapons left over by the failed siege and was estimated to have cost around 300 talents of money at the time. After standing for 54 years, the Colossus of Rhodes was destroyed in 226 BCE by an earthquake that damaged the statue and the surrounding city. The knees of the statue snapped and the top half toppled to the ground. The statue was offered to be rebuilt by a local king, but the Oracle of Delphi warned otherwise, as Helios was said to have been offended by the fall of the statue, and the rebuilding would anger him more. The remains lay on the ground for many hundreds of years and became a major tourist attraction until in 653 BCE the statue was melted down and sold by an invading Arab force. However, in the modern day, there was talk that the Colossus of Rhodes should be rebuilt and made earthquake-proof so it won't face the same fate as its predecessor. Its aim would be to become another major tourist attraction that guards a local harbour. We will have to wait to see if this comes true. Number 7. The Lighthouse of Alexandria. The Lighthouse of Alexandria was built in 280 BCE by the Greeks and Egyptians in Alexandria, Egypt. The Lighthouse of Alexandria was a beacon built in the Egyptian kingdom and was sometimes called the Pharos of Alexandria. It has been estimated to have been around 100 metres to 135 metres tall in overall height, making it the tallest man-made tower from 280 BCE to 1180 CE, therefore making it onto the list of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. This record, however, was taken by the Malmesbury Abbey Tower in the UK. The Lighthouse of Alexandria was stated to have cost around 800 talents, and it took approximately 12 years to complete. Built after the death of Alexander the Great. It was designed to guide vessels safely into the harbour and house a fire at the top of the structure to create light to outline the treacherous coast of Egypt. The lighthouse was thought to have been destroyed by numerous earthquakes from the year 796 CE all the way to 1303 CE, when the last remnants of the partially cracked and damaged lighthouse finally collapsed. In 1480 CE, the stones and rubble from the Lighthouse of Alexandria were used to build a medieval fort on the site of the lighthouse. But even today, traces of the famous lighthouse can still be seen in the Bay of Alexandria, as it was rediscovered in 1868 when an expedition in the local area was funded by UNESCO. Currently, UNESCO is working with the government of Egypt to add the Bay of Alexandria to a World Heritage List of submerged cultural sites. If this goes through, another ancient wonder of the world would be protected, adding to the list of amazing structures left behind by the ancient world. Now that you have heard about all the 7 wonders of the ancient world, what do you think? Which one did you find the most interesting? Please discuss in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell to always be up to date with the History Scholar.